you be like the most stupid guy around. Use your ears most, not your mouth. My name is Solomon Kaweesa, and I am a journalist working currently with NTV Uganda. Someone asking who is Solomon Kaweesa besides the name is quite elaborative in its, let me just say, he's that simple guy, but focused. There are a lot of things that one can do when they have experienced failure, but in the first place, people should understand that as a person, I don't believe that there is something called failure. Failure is always just a step to another level, and mistakes and failure should just be part of us. And if you do not fail at one moment, then just know you're chasing a wrong objective in life. We always have to fail. But what you have to do in case you experience such a challenge, number one, you just need to own it up that failure is always part of us. Failure is always part of what we do to go to a higher level, because I believe of all the innovations that we have had in the world and over centuries, people didn't come up and they created something on the first day. It was out of failure, it was out of mistakes, but you just keep on learning from the mistakes that you do. The more you do mistakes, the more you fail, the more you learn. That is why we have seen people, mature people, the elderly, who are rich, but when you sit with them to ask them, how did you come to this? They'll tell you, at a certain time I failed and had a feeling I would never be rich. But they learned from those mistakes that they did to go forward. And actually, I always tell young people that if you are searching for knowledge, searching for advice on how to go forward, on how to be rich, you never consult a rich guy, because he'll never tell you the truth. Just go to someone who was once rich and now they are poor. They will tell you why they are poor now. The mistakes that they did are the mistakes that you're going to correct in order to go forward. Number two, on that same issue, I always tell people that never have a backup plan. That is now total failure. If you want to become a journalist and a successful journalist, if you fail many times and you say, I think I failed in journalism, let me go try business, then you're not focused on one thing. If you are focused to succeed on a certain thing, that definitely means that even if you do a million mistakes, you're going to stick on that one thing, correct the mistakes. Plan B is always for the lazy people, like I was saying. For example, if you wake up with a dream of becoming one of the best journalists in Uganda, and then today you say, things are not moving on well, you create a small business, then you're in that business, then giving journalism half time, then the more you give it half time and more time to something else, you will definitely either succeed in the other thing but not journalism, or fail in both. That is why I never consider plan B as a plan to go forward. But there is a plan B behind plan A, which can keep plan A on the move. If you say, I want to be one of the best journalists, the example I can give most and several times, and you say, yeah, well, I've been writing in paper, but I think I'm growing, and I'm being maybe underrated in this section. Let me try radio, let me go to TV and see whether I can move closer to what I want. But you have not changed course, you're still following the same thing. You want to be the best in that industry. You get me? But once you move out, that is the end of you. Or once you try something else, even if you're giving this journalism half time, you're going to fail. Number 3, maybe which I would consider last, it is called inspiration. Many people fail because they were inspired, but when what they were inspired to do is not where they belong. I've seen and met many young people say that I inspired them to become journalists, but I keep on reminding them that, did I inspire you to become like me? And if your answer is yes, then you're going to fail. Because I am Solomon Kaweesa the first. If you want to be like me, you're going to be Solomon Kaweesa the second. And it will be hard for you to leave a legacy in a particular section where you are, because before people speak about you, they will have to first talk about me. What sometimes we mean by becoming the best is at times to fight for legacy space. It's not easy, but it is open for everyone. So what is your legacy going to be like? Is your legacy going to be like, he did everything like Solomon Kaweesa? I have journalists who inspired me, Barry Francis, but I've never done anything like Barry Francis. I admired the uniqueness he had, and I said, no, I can be unique as well. He has done his thing, I can do mine, and I can be unique. And that is why maybe I am what I am today. So be mindful of who inspires you and how you perceive or how you digest the inspiration. Don't be inspired to become what those people are. Be inspired to also create your legacy like the people who are inspiring you did. My final word to the young people out there. First of all, I must talk about our problems as the youth. When we reach a certain age, we feel like we know it all. And that is the biggest problem we have in every section where we find youth. They believe they have gone to school, they have gone to university, but you forget that you are finding that gray-haired man who has an experience of 30 years. Some of us, if we had not listened to such people that we consider very old in the industry, they should get out, would be nowhere. And I pity my industry, journalism, where we have failed to maintain those grown-ups. I'm putting them in quotes. Because whoever gets some little money in this industry runs to do something else, and we do not give it space to let these people grow, and then later on they are the ones to feed that experience in the coming generation. So you find a company, they totally employ youth, and those elderly are not there, they are doing other things. So you begin wondering, how are these people inspired? Maybe that goes back to how some industries and sections pay. That should be checked. maybe by government, through parliament, to create the minimum wage. I think that would work, because some people can't keep in an industry that doesn't pay for long. So I would suggest that we open our ears wide to advice, but then we choose selectively and carefully on what to follow. So with this, I believe it's going to take us even further than we expected. We shouldn't underlook people. You'll be like the most stupid guy around. Use your ears most, not your mouth. When you listen more, you learn more. And when time to speak comes, you'll speak on the point of knowledge, not the point of ignorance.